first one is called Call. Stellar divination, sheddings of fire and air, you vertiginous lucid rapture, fallen from over the filling moon, take me toward words with precise teeth, enraged to rend the blank, dull, numb, any such drawn barrier, until the long brokenness itself break and be broken through. And next, something somewhat seasonal, and the title is the first two words. Give praise, bird-like, unto the given blue of resounding blue silence over shimmery gold leaf gold as it flies atop a lone yellow maple, riven through the whole time we are ripped alive from image on into memory, driven to sing the gain in the sound that plies the waking wind swirl after we sever by dint of a less frangible ash, which won't shake loose from the score of its cries, marrowed and feathered with fire, until the reverse of forever. And here's a short poem which includes the title of the book. It's in memory of my friend James Latrobe. It's called Our Path. We climb on through the wounds, which are, after all, not fatal, only mortal. And so we will go, whether safe or at risk, to earth, to waters, toward skies of amenable stars, yet never be bound away from true friends in the long bond with them. There is hurt, even so I refuse being sealed. I stride or limp after what moves beyond all, which is also within and gives lift to the load. It undarks at the knowing this path cannot shut, how something far in us goes on, reaches past the lone end. And a slightly longer poem to close with. This is a poem of praise to a favorite poet of mine, who goes back a few centuries. His dates are 712 to 770. The poem is entitled To Do Fu. And I'm mindful of the most interesting panel discussion we had mention of various writers and artists who had no idea that their work would survive, and in this case be still perhaps the most revered poet in China. To Do Fu. Such disparate worlds, but you call far across the abysses, from frail hut after hut of right words, begun in a once grand society, bled by insane, ceaseless wars, worn down, bowed as you were in ill health, withdrawn beside the long waters, under desolate cirrus, wan moon, that even so gave like an ablution your constellated lines, their fluent image of being. Poor and obscured, seldom back home or for long at each refuge, in threadbare cold, in sadness, the fleeting reprieve with a friend, the helpless compassion, bald grief, your cry still issues its power to pierce the dust laid down over ages of collapsing kingdoms' ruins, perennial guises of greed, wrath, and pride, the murk also of the clumsy translations, to glass and distill and bring near the most remote visions for those who sip your moonlit wine as they rock slowly there in the thin but miraculous boat of the brain that slips past blithe or brutish denial and scorn of the historic warnings, decline of mere solidarity in a thoughtful existence of care. You who breathe improbable brotherhood past every mask of despair.